Have you ever wondered how something as tiny as a molecule could be your home's secret weapon against damage? What if I told you that right now your roof is actually acting like a giant sponge, soaking up water and letting in UV rays that are slowly destroying from the inside out? Hey there, let me show you something pretty incredible that's happening at a level so small you can't even see it. You know how when you spill water on a sponge, it just soaks right through all those tiny holes? Well, your roof, your deck, and even your concrete driveway, they are all full of microscopic holes, just like that sponge. And that's actually a huge problem, unless you know how to use it to your advantage. You see, most people think their roof or deck is solid, but under a microscope, it's more like Swiss cheese, full of tiny pores that let in water, dirt, and UV rays. Traditional sealants, they just sit on top, like putting a sheet of plastic over that sponge. Sure, it might work for a while, but eventually water finds its way in. But here's where things get really interesting. Scientists have actually figured out how to use these tiny pores to our advantage, using something called nanotechnology. And today, I'm going to break down exactly how this works in plain English. No PhD required. I'll show you how this incredible technology is revolutionizing home protection and why it's completely different from anything you've seen before. Let's start with what makes this technology so different. Imagine you're trying to protect a piece of wood. Traditional sealants are like painting that wood. The protection just sits on top, but Go Nano, it's completely different. The particles in Go Nano are so incredibly tiny that they can actually slip into those microscopic pores I mentioned earlier. Think about it like this. If your roof, shingles, or wood deck were the size of a football field, these nanoparticles would be smaller than a marble. That's how they're able to get deep inside the material instead of just coating the surface. And here's the really cool part. Once they're in there, they don't just sit there like other sealants. They actually form a chemical bond with the material itself. This is where the science gets pretty amazing. When these nanoparticles bond at the molecular level, they create what scientists call a hydrophobic barrier. In plain English, they create an invisible shield that water literally cannot penetrate. It's like giving your surfaces their own waterproof raincoat, except this one is built right into the material itself. But it's not just about keeping water out. These tiny particles are also blocking UV rays, which are one of the biggest culprits when it comes to aging and damaging your home surfaces. Think about what happens to your skin in the sun without protection. Similar thing happens to your roof and deck over time. Go Nano creates a barrier against these harmful rays, helping your surfaces last longer and look better. Now, here's something really interesting about this technology. Because it works at such a tiny scale, it doesn't change how your surfaces look or feel at all. You literally can't see it. Your wood still looks like wood, your concrete still looks like concrete, but if you could zoom in with a microscope, you'd see this incredible protective network that's been created inside the material. And here's the best part, because Go Nano actually becomes part of the material it's protecting, you only need to apply it once. No more annual recoating, no more constant maintenance. One application creates a permanent bond that protects from the inside out. This isn't just more convenient, it's actually saving you money in the long run because you're not having to reapply year after year. What makes this even better is that all this high-tech protection comes without any environmental downsides. Go Nano is water-based and non-toxic. So while it's doing this incredible job of protecting your home, it's not releasing any harsh chemicals into the environment. You're getting cutting-edge protection that's also environmentally responsible. Let me give you a real-world example of how this works. When water hits an untreated surface, it soaks in immediately, just like that sponge we talked about earlier. But when water hits a surface treated with Go Nano, it beads up and rolls right off. This isn't just neat to watch, it means that water, dirt, mold, and other contaminants can't penetrate the surface. They literally have nowhere to go except off your roof, deck, or driveway. So there you have it. the science behind Go Nano, and plain English. We've seen how these incredibly tiny particles are able to penetrate deep into materials, creating an invisible but powerful barrier that protects from water, UV rays, and other damaging elements. It's pretty amazing how something so small can make such a big difference in protecting your home. Think about it. Your roof, deck, and other surfaces are some of the biggest investments in your home. They're constantly exposed to these elements, taking a beating from the sun, rain, and everything in between. With Go Nano, you're not just putting a temporary band-aid on the problem. If you want to learn more about how this incredible technology can protect specific surfaces in your home, check out my next video where I break down exactly how Go Nano works on different materials and show you some amazing before and after demonstrations. You won't believe the difference this molecular level protection can make.